All right, guys, if you could stand really quick. Excitement level in the room. 100, let's go. Level 100, 100. Okay, now keep clapping. Matt and Hannah, come to the stage. Come on, keep clapping. Keep clapping. You're good, girl, you're good. We have a very exciting morning. Matt and Hannah persons are going to be sharing about their recent trip to Zambia. Everybody says, yeah! Okay, you may be seated. We're going to talk back, we're going to listen, and the Lord is going to do something amazing. Amen? Amen? All right, let's get it, fam.
Right on. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Mambo kaboti, that's how they say it in Zambia. Means good morning. Matt and I are so excited today to tell you what Jesus did in Africa. He did so many amazing things, but also I should probably start with introducing ourselves, because some of you don't know us. I'm Hanna.
I'm Matt.
And we're going to tell you about our adventure to Africa. We saw a lot of miracles in Africa. It was absolutely amazing. Jesus moved in many hearts. And it's beautiful. So we're going to tell you what Jesus did. Let's go.
We went with an organization called Overland's Mission, and their goal is to reach far out places to see where the
unreached people groups. Okay, give it.
The far out places that not many other organizations go. That's where Overland's goes.
Yeah, let's go. Overland Missions, we went with a group of about 40 people. There's a group photo of us, Hamza, if you'll put that up there. That's Zambia, that's where we went, but this is our group we went with. These are the big old trucks like we got to drive out into the bush with, and it was super cool, and that was our team for the week.
Yeah, we went with some of them are leaders and others are ministry partners who are essentially interpreters. And they translate into Tonga, which is their native language, so we could communicate with them.
Yeah, we had to speak through them, so we would speak, and then they would translate, and then we would wait for the response, and then they would have to translate again. So they live there in Zambia, and they stay there, and they help disciple people and translate. They're also ministers, so they'll be staying there after we leave. They will be, they'll have pastors and those people who will stay there and disciple the people who we've reached while we're there. So they'll be training them up, and they'll have Bible studies, and they stay and they continue to do God's work as we're there. So it's not like we just come, give a good word, and then leave. Like, they continue to do the work. So it's a beautiful thing they're doing.
While we were there, we ministered to 544 people.
Yes.
And
it was a lot.
There was 139 salvations. 139 people gave their life to the Lord.
Yes, amazing. They were hungry for the Word of God. Every village we went to, they were just so excited to have us. When we would arrive, they'd just be welcoming. But we wanted to tell you about like what our base camp looked like, and I think there's a picture of like it says tents. This is like what it looked like when we arrived. We slept in tents, and our little truck there, that was our kitchen, and this is like where we did our like devotionals, so you guys can kind of like get a picture. Matt, you want to tell them about the bathrooms and stuff?
Yeah, so the bathrooms, we had a shower that was essentially sticks.
Yeah.
That we stood on top of, and then we had a bucket, and we washed ourselves with that.
So
which was amazing after
awesome.
being out in the sand for 8 hours.
Dust, bushy environment, and then the toilets.
The toilet was no bidet.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sad.
The toilet is called the long drop. So this was our potty for the week. So yeah, that's what they actually go to the bathroom in there. This is their normal. This is what their showers look like. This is what their bathrooms look like. This is their way of life. So it's not no bidet, but it does the job. It does the job. So.
Yeah, we're gonna speak on the culture of Zambia and what they're like and who they are as people. I think there's a picture of their homes and how they live, Hamza, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like a few people's houses, and they all live together in like a single like neighborhood, and then there's a bunch of neighborhoods throughout.
Yeah, so we would walk up and there would be, generally it would look like this. Each one's different, like everyone has their own style. So they would have like a home, and then they would have a place like where they would hang out, and they would have a campfire because that's what they cook around. And so, yeah, this is normally like what it looks like in the villages there. There's not actually like in America, you see big, awesome houses and everything's extravagant. And here, like life is way simple. Like this is what they have, and they're happy. They're actually happy, and it's a beautiful way of living. So that is normally what it would look like as we would go from house to house.
Yeah, the men there only wear pants. They never wear shorts. They say boys only wear shorts.
The boys wear shorts, yeah.
And then you can explain
and then the women wear chitanges, and they're like this beautiful skirts, and it goes all the way down. There's a picture, I think it says chitange on there, and it's of us, and like the women are, you see we're all in like these beautiful little skirts, so that's what we wore all week because it's their modesty there. And then like in America, we're like, you can show your legs and it's not a big thing. It is there. That's the way they see as modesty, and it's the opposite. Like their chest is okay to be out because that's how they feed their children. So that would be a normal thing you would see in the Zambian culture. So that's just a glimpse of how they would dress.
Speaking of their families, they're rooted in their families. One of the houses we went to, they had 14 children and 40 grandkids, which is like crazy.
The more kids, the better, is what they said. Like
Yeah.
that was their goal, as many kids as possible. So.
And also, farming is the backbone. In Zambia, all they do is farm. There's no really other jobs. So their main source is corn, which is they call maize.
Yeah.
And they make this shima, which is like a consistency of mashed potato.
Yeah, we have a picture of
and
that
then
too.
they like ball it up, and then they eat it. And you only use your right hand
Yeah.
because that's a clean hand.
Right there, this is how they cook every day. But yeah, as Matt said, the right hand is the clean hand. So you can't, like, if you would shake their hand with your left hand, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like, no. Because that's like, I'm guessing what they use the bathroom with, so. But yeah, that's the shima. They eat that like 3 times a day. And that's just their staple food because corn is what they can grow there. And that was just a picture of us because we had a big gathering of all of the leaders in the area. So we were cooking for all of them, and yeah, we got to tell them about God as well. But that's their everyday life. They are always cooking on the fire, and they're always cooking shima and growing corn.
Yeah, and their livestock are pigs, cows, chickens, goats, dogs. This is a cool picture of 4 goats riding on the back of a scooter.
Yeah, they tied the goats up and they just put them on the back of their bikes or their bicycles or mopeds, and I was just laughing so hard because I just hear this motorbike like, and then I'm hearing bah, like as they're like going by
He
me.
almost fell over too. It was wild.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So you see random stuff like that everywhere. There's roosters, and there's like at night you can hear the cowbells of the herding cows because they just herd cows through all the village, and there's baby pigs, and everything is running rampart. Like all their livestock is everywhere. So it's quite the scene when you're going everywhere and seeing that.
Our daily life, we would wake up and we would eat breakfast as a group. We cooked right on the base, like our little base area. And then we'd do a morning devotional. And then we'd go out for about 8 hours and go house to house. And like Hanna was saying, they're very hospitable. And we would stay at each house for like 2 or 3 hours. So we'd get like 3 or 4 houses done a day.
When we would arrive to the house, they would bring up these chairs. So there's a picture of it. So they would all stop, they would look at you, and they would grab chairs, and they would find you, and they would sit all the chairs down and then they would expect you to sit where they put them. And then this is another chair that they had.
Those ones are not very comfy.
They're not comfy.
No.
They're not comfy, but so I just sat on the ground most of the time because half of you can fit on that. It's like this big. But they're used to it. So they sit on like little teeny things everywhere, which is, the way they live. So it was awesome. So they're very welcoming. They would bring the chairs, we would sit down, and they would give your full attention for the day. They would stay there all day. They would drop everything just to hear you speak. They were so hospitable and respectable, and it was really cool to just get all attention. Because in America, if you show up to someone's door, no soliciting, like get out of here, So it's the total opposite. Where we walk in, we know we're getting a warm welcome, and we can speak, and they just listen. So.
Yeah, and for the nights we had night meetings, and that was essentially the bonfire in the middle of their soccer field. a huge bonfire, and then we got to share testimonies as well as give a word, and then we prayed for them. Some of the prayers being for nightmares, because a lot of them have nightmares, salvation, and healing.
So yeah, the daily life in the Zambian, the women handle the household, the children in the market. There's like this little teeny market that they can sell stuff at. That looks kind of just like the houses, but it's just like two lines of things. The men do the farming tasks, the livestock, and the construction, and the children, they help with the chores, but they go to school sometimes when there is school, because it's not like here where there's a massive school. It's just like one little house, and like they'll have to take turns going to school, and they do teach English there. So some of them know English and some of them do not, and they have a choice to go to school or not. So I don't know if I have a picture of the school, Hamza. Do I? I thought I might have put one. No, not that one, but that's Chaos. But I guess I don't have a picture of the school. But you could show the picture of Matt and his friend.
That's just where we're gonna put it?
Yeah. This is Matt and his little friend, because the children there are so cute. They're so fun to play with, but
yeah, the Zambians, they don't show much emotion. They're not like Americans where we like wear emotions on our sleeve.
That kid did though.
Yeah, the kids do. So like the whole entire time we were there, we seen one person cry, and that's it. Out of the 544 people.
Yeah. It's not really common for them to show any emotion. Like you said, they only cry when someone dies. And here we're over emotional. Like we're just like, which isn't not a bad thing, but it's totally different. Like they look at us like we're weird when we're like, oh my gosh, like yeah. They're like, huh, you know.
And then awkward pauses there are also okay. Like there was times when we would just sit there and no one would say a word for like a good couple minutes.
Yeah, a good couple minutes.
Like, they were just processing everything they just heard.
They just stare at you, and eventually we got used to it. Like, no, this is cool. And it's actually nice because then we have time to think about things before we speak. We don't think before we speak a lot here, so we got to there, and that was awesome. The religious and spiritual beliefs in Zambia, Africa, they have a vast majority of Christianity and a vast majority of witchcraft. They have no doctors and no area around there to go get help. So a lot of them are desperate, and they have these things called witch doctors. Some of you may know what they are, some of you may not, but it's basically someone who practices witchcraft, who gets help from the demonic to heal people. But the thing is, they will have to go to the witch doctor to get healed, but they won't stay healed. And it costs a ton of money. And then they end up with, obviously demonic oppression, because it opens a doorway to the devil. So we encountered many people with demonic oppression, with pain in their body, all through their body, with nightmares, tons of nightmares. At night, prayer night, there was literally hundreds of people coming to us for prayers for nightmares, because they would be attacked in their sleep, in their dreams. And that's because it's just witchcraft is prevalent over there. It is just, it's what they have, and that's what they know. So there's a lot of mixture between Christianity and witchcraft. They get, they're not totally, they're confused a little bit. So sometimes they blend them together because they don't have proper instruction or proper people leading them to the right way.
Yeah, during this time though, we've seen Jesus move in ways that were unbelievable. We've seen a lot of healings. We've seen nightmares go and demonic oppression go, and
people being delivered. Yeah, there was many deliverances and beautiful healings. Like I prayed for this girl's arm, and the Lord healed her whole arm. Like she had pain in her whole body, and it went away. There was multiple deliverances, people being healed from demonic oppression, so they received freedom. It was just a common thing there. So that it was really awesome. There's this story we have about a church called the Church of Zion we wanted to share with you.
That was one of the churches that we're talking about that confused witchcraft and Christianity. So we went to a bunch of houses, and they were talking about how they would do these healings, and then they would force you to come and stay.
There was a house I went to, and the lady's like, yes, I went to this church. This is my church. They healed me, so now I have to stay there because they healed me. But so it was we're like, oh, okay. And then we ended up going to this church, and the Lord it's a funny thing because I went to the pastor's house, but they didn't tell me they were the pastor before. So I had visited them, and we sang and danced with them, and they didn't tell us that they actually ran the church. So I found out as we're walking up to the church that was the pastor. So the Lord had woke me up in the middle of the night, and he'd given me a word for this church, and he had given me verses that go hand in hand with you cannot serve two masters, and you can't drink from the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. And yes, witchcraft is detestable to God. So just along those lines, you can get the picture. So we went and we prayed, and me and Matt and a few of the leaders and Pastor Winters, the pastor of the area, we all went in, and they had me preach to this church of those verses. So basically I did what the Lord told me to, and told them that they cannot do witchcraft and serve God. Like you have to choose one and not the other. And Matt, you want to tell them the good news?
Every person there gave their lives to Christ, including the pastor.
Including the pastor. Yeah. Including the pastor, and it was a beautiful moment, and they just needed some love and like some guidance. They really didn't understand or know, so yeah, we came with love and also with that guidance. It was just it was a beautiful day. It was so good. So yeah, that was the Church of Zion, and we just really saw the Father's heart for bringing His children back to Him, because these things separate us from Him. They keep us far away, and they keep us in chains. So it was beautiful to see all these people like joyfully happy and get to learn the right way. So as we said, Pastor Winters will be there. There'll also be people giving Bible studies and teaching them further than what we just did. But it was super awesome. What? Oh, okay. There was this other story, the story of Chaus. This is a man. Yes, this is Chaus. His name is Chaus. He was at one of our night meetings where that was the night I shared my testimony with everybody, and I got to tell everyone how in the midst of my drugs and alcohol and sex addiction, and just in the midst of my lostness, my far away from God, just sad and depressed, how God found me and He delivered me, and how He saved me and He healed my heart and my mind. And I got to tell everybody how awesome it was, how like God leaves the 99 to get the one, and He doesn't come to you when you're clean. He comes to you like when you're lost, when you're dirty, when you don't feel like you're good enough, when you're sad. Like He comes to you and He takes you and He cleans you and He gives you a new life. And I got to tell everybody like how you are that one that He chases, how He left the 99 to chase you. You're the one that He chases. So I got to tell them all, and after this, it was beautiful because a few other people preached, and then we did prayer, and he was one of the guys that came up for prayer for nightmares, and his body that was full of pain. At night, he would get attacked at night, and he would be screaming and crying and rolling on the ground every night. So he came up for prayer, and
yeah, so we asked him what he had. Hannah said that already, but
yeah.
So we decided to pray over him, and when we prayed over him, he started manifesting. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. It's like when a demon takes over your body and you start locking out.
Yeah, you lock out.
So we let him down on the ground because he was falling out. And then he got up, like just randomly got up and just started walking away without a word. And you could just tell it wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And his family was there, so I think he was like shameful. So then the next day, Hannah went.
Well, me and Matt, after that, we were like, dude, like we must find this guy. It's not done. It's unfinished. I was like, he didn't get his freedom. Like he walked away like a zombie. And I was like, I can't. I'm like, God, please. I was like, put him back in my path. I don't know what I got to do to find this kid. I was like, we got to find him. So Matt and I the next morning were like, hey, let's talk to the leaders and see. We were in separate groups. So we talked to the leaders and we're like, hey, can we go find him? And they're like, one of you can. So I went on an adventure through the village, and I was just like, okay, well, we're going to find him. So we walked through the village. We stopped at the well where they all gathered to get water, and we were asking around. The translator was asking, and they directed us to his house, and we went to a couple houses before we finally found, because there's no GPS, there's no Google Maps. It's just like we're walking until we find this kid. So we found him, and Matt was gone during this time.
Yeah, I was in another village, and yeah, that was a whole nother story. But so when I was coming back, because we were driving there, because it was like, I don't know, 30 minutes away, and I was driving back, and I pulled up to the base, and I seen Chow sitting there, and I was so happy to see him.
Yeah, because we got to his house, we found him, and he didn't want to talk in front of his family, which is fine. So we invited him back to our base camp, where then Matt arrived as we were talking to him, and we got to continue to minister to him, and the Lord revealed that he just had some unforgiveness in his heart, and so he forgave the people he needed to forgive, and we prayed, and he was delivered from demonic oppression. He got his freedom, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah, the next day we had our soccer match with all the kids and the locals.
Yeah.
And we just seen Chow run across the field with so much joy, which is like unbelievable for that place.
He
like,
wasn't smiling. Like, he wasn't smiling at all before. He was like this. Like a zombie.
And he came running across, giving us hugs, smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can see him right here. Like, he found me, he chased us down, he gave us hugs, and it was amazing. And then the next day, the translator told us about him, that he had came up to the camp when we were all doing our devotional, so I didn't get to talk to him. But the translator was telling me how he had explained, you know, anyone could just pray for somebody, and how he didn't really believe, like, we cared at first. But because we chased him down, we went to his house, we found him, he knew that God loved him. He knew that God loved him. He knew that we loved him, that we cared enough to find him, to pray for him, to bring him back. Like, we chased him down. The Father's love of, like, leaving that 99 to get the one. He understood it. He said, now I know that God loves me. He'd never felt love in his life because they don't show emotion there. He'd never been loved, but he felt that love. And he knew that he was loved because of our actions behind it. So it was such a beautiful moment because he said, now I feel joy and peace and happiness. And he said, I'm free. I'm free. So that was just the epitome of what God did, of how the Father chases us down and he finds us where we are. Well, he sent us and we chased him down and we showed him God's love, and this kid's life will be forever changed because he knows he's loved. He has the love of God now. And it was just the most amazing experience.
Let's go. I want to thank you all for sowing into this and praying for us. It was amazing to see what God did in Africa, and my prayer is that he does it here in America as well.
Yeah, it's the same spirit there as it is here. He loves all of you just as much as he loves Charles. Like, he loves all of you, and it's just, nothing can separate us from the love of God. Nothing can separate us from the love of God. So if this isn't a testimony that you're feeling the love of God, man, I don't know, because he's moving and he loves you, and we just are so grateful for all of you who have sowed, who have prayed, who are here listening. We love you, and we're just thank you to Jesus for saving our lives. And now we get to be a part of watching a million other people come to him and get their life saved and their freedom and their joy and the love they never had. So we love you all, and we just thank you for allowing us to speak and share these testimonies. We have many pictures and everything, but thank you.
We do have a video to show. If you guys want to be seated, Hans is gonna play that video, and this is a real depiction of Matt in real time giving his testimony.
The only reason I am is because of God. My story starts when I was young. I did not grow up in a Christian family. My dad was an abusive alcoholic. So I did not have a good childhood. I started drinking and doing drugs at a young age and did not know who God was. When I was young, though, a babysitter told me who God was. But I really didn't understand who he was. I went into the military and went to war. I came back and I was not the same person I left. I was very sad and depressed. I fell into more drugs and alcohol. Until 2 years ago, when God encountered me and He saved me, He pulled me out of alcoholism and drug addiction. But I still didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't understand how a God could love me if my earthly dad couldn't even love me. So I struggled with that for a while. Until one day I asked God to show me how much He loved me. And ever since He's been showing me. The love He has for us is like no other. Thank you for listening.